Yeah, welcome back to the Firehouse for some more Firehouse reasoning. Tonight in the Firehouse I'm going to be discussing Rasta, because there seems to be a great confusion about what a Rasta is. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try and explain what Rasta is anyway. Not that Rasta is anything different from anything else. It only differs in a way, I say, where a lot of people is of the opinion that it is some form of religion. You know what I mean? But a religion is something that someone get initiated into. You know what I mean? Either Christianity or Islam or whatever. There is some initiation process that you have to go through to be a member of these movements. You see what I mean? But actually you don't have to go through any initiation to be a Rasta. If you see what I mean. Well, I never went through any. So if you don't go through any initiation, it is your personal choice. You see what I mean? So Rasta then, the true form of it, is the freedom of choice for an individual. I suppose the reason, because the freedom of choice exists all over the world, innit? So anyone is in the world is free to choose what they want to do. The reason why we call it Rasta then, I suppose, is that as the descendant of slaves then, I say, we was under the suppression or oppression, any way you want to look at it, of the Christians who brought us, when we come to the West, we was subjected to that teachings then. So we've always are the ancestors then. For a long time have been searching for a way to have their own voice, if you know what I mean. To decide their own destiny then, you know. To have, instead of listening to other people telling them about Jesus coming to save them and things, you know. To find a way to think for themselves. So Rasta is such a movement. You see what I mean? It is a cry of the oppressed for the freedom of thought then, you know, rather than to be following the ways of whoever. I don't know. Well, anyway, because of how life is on earth, in whatever movement it is, you always end up with a positive and a negative. So you have lots of people then who claim that they are Rasta. You see what I mean? But actually, it turned out, like I tell you, like a positive and a negative. So some people, or the majority I say, are not Rastafarians, like people call them. They are what my friend, I love my tag team partner. She likes to word play and, you know, invent new words. In the last reason you hear me talking about Hugh Animals, that was one of her kind on the word, I say. But to explain now how some people are not Rastafarians, we're going to use the term Lastafarians. I know a lot of Lastafarians will be upset hearing anyone daring to label them Lastafarians. But the reason why some people get lost now, as an example, like I tell you before, we are under the oppression then of a negative energy that is enforcing what I call book knowledge on us then. So we are finding a way to break out of that. But unfortunately now, the Lastafarians has fallen into this very trap. You see what I mean? Because they get lost now, Because when people are lost, I say they like to follow books. So they fall into the same trap now as those who are claiming that God sent his son. I suppose they might put a little spin on it to say, listen, the sun is not white, the sun is black. If you know what I mean. I try and make out that way, and they've reached a stage now where they say, dear leader. Because lost people, I say, always have a leader. The first lost man that come along, I says he's a lost. He could now run along claiming that this is the man that the ideas that we are running away from, as Rastas. Yeah? He come along now and say that God sent his son, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean, and blah, blah, blah. The Rastafarians now, I say they accept this lie because they are more or less teaching, a teaching to say, listen, our man, His Majesty, Selassie, is a descendant and the lineage of whatever they write in the book anyway. Because these lost people always believe in a thing called bloodline. You know, like royalty and stuff like that. They think that the truth is such a thing, and that if you was born into this family, I don't know, Moses, Joseph, maybe Abraham, I don't know. I never hear them say if you was born into the family of Jingpong or, some Chinaman that you could automatically inherit the truth. But for some reason, lost people always, like I say, seems to follow the leader. You know what I mean? So these Rastafarians, like I'm saying, you will find out then that their reasoning is more or less based on a book. The same book that the first last man come along with those who enslaved the ancestor, coming along, and they say that God sent the prophets and his son. And I'm trying to explain to these people, right, that God never sent the first prophet or the last or any son. You know what I mean? This is these are the teachings, I say, of those who enter You see what I mean? And let the human being know directly that what they're calling God is within themselves. And they can access it themselves. It don't need any book. You see what I mean? What do you think the man say as an example who live in the Amazon? He's never met a Rasta. Never met a Muslim or a Christian. Never see the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the I Ching, or none of these books. How do you think such a man could get in touch with what we call God then? If his means, if a human being means of getting in touch with God was through books, yeah? How would such a being, that mean all them beings would live on the planet and die in ignorance? Simply because what? They've never come across a book, and even if they did come across it, they wouldn't be able to read what was in the book because the book is not in their language. Since as God is trying to confuse them by putting the truth in books or putting it in certain part of the earth. You see what I mean? What kind of God would be that stupid? Only the God of the what I call the few animals. But in this case now it would be the Rastafarians. You see what I mean? Because anytime, this is the teaching of the 9th grade general. Because I tell you, I can teach the whole universe. Anytime any human being at all, is focusing on anything out there, you know, in the world. When I say out there, I mean on a book, Bible, Quran, whatever. Doesn't matter what book. If that is, I'm not saying you can't read book, you know. But when you think that the book is the master, or if the book say Jesus, Muhammad, or whatever, you spend your time focusing on that, then you are bound to get lost. Because nothing out there is the master. The master is within thy own conscience. The supreme one. You see the number one that I'm telling you about? That's conscience. That's another name for what you call God. The one that is within. But I know these things. I'm a general and listen, I'm a rough. Yeah, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just like I was telling my sister now, I know these things, but it's not as if I'm clever. I can't do anything, actually. I'm actually stupid, you know what I mean? But this is one thing why, to myself, I say why I was able to penetrate the 9th level. Simply because I'm stupid. I can't do anything, you know what I mean? Maybe if I could, like I say, build a house, some of my energies would be taken up by building the house. Or designing, or you know what I mean? Maybe if I could read palms as a spiritualist, you know, I would be you know, and that would, doesn't mean that you can't be good when you're doing these things. Just mean that because you are talented, you put some energy in your talent. You see what I mean? But I have known talent. The only detectable talent that I think I got is the love of truth. That I'm absolutely crazy about. Trust me, you know. If there was no God, I would invent God, you know. That's how the way I see it. I would invent a better way for man to live. You see what I mean? But I don't have to. You see what I mean? I don't have to invent the one. Because it's funnily enough, you know. It's like with the people, because no one should believe in God. But for those who carry on this idiocy about belief, then whether you want to believe in God or not, it's irrelevant because God is. You know, the higher intelligence is. And if no man on earth, whoever come out a woman, did ever see the internal one, all that would be irrelevant because the fact is the general have seen the one. You know what I mean? So, personally, that's why I say I don't beg friend or borrow friend. You see what I mean? Because now, as a general now, I have to stand by what I know. For certain. And it's easy for me to stand by it as well. Because I know that no bookman can out-reason me. The minute any man at all, you could be the, I don't care who you is, you know, but the minute you start to quote books, that's you finish. The 9th grade general kill you. Yeah, you know. There's no words that you can find in a book that is going to out-reason yourself. You understand it? No human being who has ever set foot on this planet, no matter how great, if there was the greatest ever, no human being can out-reason themselves. You see what I mean? The man or the being who could out-reason a 9th grade general can never ever be born. Why? Because no being can ever out-reason themselves, is it? You see what I mean? So, like I'm saying, you know, when you reach the 9th level, it's like, that's why I call it firehouse. Because in firehouse now, all ignorance get burned. One of the first ignorant we burn up in firehouse is the different races, the black, the white, and because I know that your body is black and white, but can you tell me what color your mind is? You are dummies when I ask you that question, innit? Well, if I don't, you go and ask somebody else, when you see them, black doesn't matter what color they are. Say to them, excuse me, what color is your mind? No one can tell you that because the spirit have no color. You see what I mean? It's the body that have different colors. But because you are lost in ignorance, you believe that the body is the person. You see, so you believe that they are black and white people. When there is only people then. No, one. God only create one. Ignorance create many. You know what I mean? But there is no, well, like I tell you, when the mind is lost, it lacks light. You see what I mean? And light will not enter a dirty mind, like I've told people over and over. Dirty mind meaning when you are lying, cheating, hating, racist. You know what I mean? The truth will not enter you then. Those actions must be cleaned up. For clean water to go in a dirty glass, it will only spoil. The glass must be cleansed, washed out, then you put the water in, it will settle. Your mind, human beings, your mind are like a glass. Your dirty behavior make your glass unclean, your mind. So you won't be able to comprehend the truth. For you to do it, you must clean up your action. You see what I mean? If you don't clean up your action, then you are going to end up, like I say, like a Rastafarians. So how could people end up as Rastafarians then? No, they end up as Rastafarians for one reason. There are some problems, faults within the being that they are not being completely honest about. You see what I mean? You have to clean up yourself. You have to be entirely honest with yourself to know the truth. If you're not, you're going to end up as a believer. You know, you have to hold on to something. You know what I mean? I'm holding on to my rod still. Well, it's only me and the rod. But if not, you hold on to what other people tell you, and that's how you fall down, I say, and become in the level of the you animals. Or if in our case now you become a Rastafarian, you know what I mean, creating what the slave master create with, you know, you think you pick out a few men and say, oh yeah, they are prophets and Jesus return, and you know, how can Jesus return when Jesus is a character that the Romans created at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD? You know what I mean? These people, like I'm telling you, there is no man called Jesus, none called what the boy called Solomon, Moses. None of them exist. What they did after they overran Africa and enslaved our ancestors and steal whatever, they steal our bodies and bring to Europe to have in the museum and thing. They steal everything. So what they did, they steal the sayings what they find and put it into characters' mouth and claim that these characters was real. But if you look for any of the character that they tell you about, their burial place on earth, you won't find it. Like you can go and find our ancestors buried there fully 4,000 years before those people that they are telling you about, that all these greats that come about 2,000 years ago. You know what I mean? No trace can be found of them. The wisest man, they said, whoever lived was Solomon. And Solomon built a temple, they say, but no one can even find a brick out of Solomon temple. Where exactly did Solomon get buried? No, they're not going to find nothing, because Solomon is not a real person. You don't understand. Just like this character that they are calling Jesus. It's not a real person. The character first come about by the Greeks. But when the Greeks, after Alexander conquer Egypt and him dead, them Sotala, what them call themselves, I don't know, but they install themselves in power and wanted the ancestors to worship them, like how they had Horus and all this business, whatever that means. But anyway, one of these Greeks now create a thing, a brethren, and them give it some name, and the name was Saparos, with the same attribute that Jesus got. And they was doing this now for about 200 years. But it looked like Greek power win, and the Roman take up the idea then, take it over and change the name from Saparos to Jesus. But it's all just a made up fool. You must think God is some idiot. As a 9th grade general, I ask the universe, or the people on earth, you must think God is some idiot or some form of idiocy in it. Because as a man, I would know this. If I give a man or a woman the freedom to decide for themselves, I could not then turn around and send anybody to tell them anything. Why would I do that when I already give them the freedom to decide? I am God. If I never want them to have the freedom to decide, I wouldn't give it to them. So once I give it to them, and I also give them the intelligence to understand the difference between right and wrong, I don't have to go about telling them what to do and how to do it. You see what I mean? It's like growing up. We have young Michelle here with us, Mr. Marius' daughter. It's like growing up Michelle. Yeah? Once you explain to her the difference between wrong and right, you don't have to follow her around and tell her. It automatically in her the difference between wrong and right. So I don't have to say, don't do that, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. You automatically knows that this is wrong. But you can still do it if you want, because you've got the freedom to do it. You've got free choice, because God gave it to you. What do you really desire? You see what I mean? But God never tell you to do nothing, even if you do what is good. If you do what is good, it's because you, from your heart, choose to do it yourself, because you think it's good and you should be good. But it's not a God forcing you to do it, because God cannot force anyone to do anything. God leaves people to choose for themselves. So how did religious people get it in their mind that God would send his son, that not God have a son, but that God would send his son here to die so that we could murder him? Because now that it's Easter time, so that we could murder this son, and through murdering his son, he saved the world. I mean, how could that have happened when I am living now and I still see men behaving bad and doing bad? So them killing him never stopped men from doing bad. Man has gone worse. When this Jesus was supposed to be around, there was no atomic weapon on earth and tanks and guns, but we have it all over now. You see what I mean? So what was the point then of God? I say that God must be an idiot. Excuse me. Because if I was God and I know everything, and I had a son, say, all right, I'll use Michelle. I have Michelle, my only daughter, and I look on the earth, see people behaving bad. You think I'm going to send my only daughter down there for people to kill my only daughter, eh? and then after they kill me only, they just get worse. What sense does that make? And why would I send my daughter anyway if I give them the choice already? You see what I mean? If God, like I'm telling you, if the creative energy that we call God never want human being to have free choice, they wouldn't. You would be like cats and dogs, wouldn't you? You just live and so it wouldn't irrelevant. You would just eat grass or whatever, I don't know, just eat, swim about like, but you wouldn't have to be worrying. Because the animals are not, the animal kingdom is not debating life, but the human one is. You see what I mean? That means we differ from the animal in a way where we can either be good or bad. The animal is just the animal. Whether it's good or bad, it's just an animal. You know? Don't have a choice, you know? An animal don't really, well, maybe a bird do. I was say an animal don't go on holiday. But I suppose some bird must decide, listen, flying down to Africa next week, you know? Some nice fruits down here, you know? Them boys do. But like I say, a buffalo wouldn't decide that, oh, listen, man, I get a passport and go to America. Here's some good grass over there. You know what I mean? They don't sit down and reason like we. You know what I mean? We got the ability to create and destroy. You see what I mean? Now, if we choose to be positive, we are creative. If we choose to be negative, we become destructive. Like most of you human beings are the leaders of this little planet. Because you are destructive. That's why you have nuclear weapons. That's why you build guns, tanks. What sensible human beings? Why are you building tanks and guns to kill old women, children, or young men, or whatever? What are you fighting for? It's just insane. A sane mind cannot understand these things as to why people would want to kill one another, murder with tank and this country. But for why? It's one planet. We all have to live here. But for some reason, no one can live in peace. Now, the reason why you cannot live in peace, why? Because you choose negativity, and those who choose negativity are blind. They can't understand what they're doing. You see, they're not rational. They are insane beings. Of course, they dress nice and in the suit and tie, and you know what I mean, and look very presentable, and they're clean shaven. So, and they go to the best school. So this fool people to think, oh, they've got sense. But check out the best mind, what they call the best mind on the planet. What are they using their great mind to do? To create destructive weapon, you know? More and more tear gas, poison, anything vicious. Why? To keep the population down. You know, in case people realize that, you know, what we're doing is madness and want to change it. If you decide that you want to change the system, they will brutalize you. They will set the army and the police, and because they've got enough weapons stored up to keep you, because they're keeping you as prisoners. We are being kept here as prisoners, as if you would how you keep animals, and you've been fed a lot of, through your television and your education or whatever, a lot of nonsense. They might feed you a little bit of sense, but not a lot, because they want to keep your mind ignorant, you know, so that you don't think for yourself. You just believe what somebody else tell you, without realizing that, yeah, you too have intelligence within yourself. You see what I mean? So like I'm saying, young Michelle is here. If I was speaking to young Michelle, I wouldn't tell her to follow anyone. I would tell her to trust in her own intelligence. But that wouldn't mean I'm not saying to her, you know, when you go to school, don't listen to what they tell you. Of course, listen to what they tell you, because she should learn knowledge. You see what I mean? But she's not going to learn wisdom in school. You're not going to learn wisdom. You are going to learn wisdom from your own self by being an honest person. That's how you learn wisdom. Knowledge, you can go to school and learn whatever. Learn to make, to create, to do. It's a good thing. You know what I mean? But some people only learn knowledge and don't learn no wisdom. So they are very clever at making a computer or whatever. But they will still probably go and rape a woman or molest a child. You see what I mean? Or steal, or hate, or be a racist. At the same time as they are brilliant scientists. Why? Because they are not honest human beings. They don't live a moral life. And from you are not living morally, you are going to become lost. You see? In Rasta, we never used to call them Rastafarian. They have a name for them. Bag of wolf in sheep clothing. You see what I mean? Those who believe in what is outside themselves and ignore themselves. You see what I mean? But when you meet a head ras now, they say ras mean head, yeah, you know, up here in the firehouse. When you meet the head ras now, what are you going to say? Like I tell you, run away, like, cause all have to run from the head ras, like I say, you know. Doesn't matter if you are a Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu. As long as you are dealing with the outward form, when you see the fire, you have nothing to say. I'll destroy the lot of you just with the words that come out of my mouth. Because you cannot read anything out of any book. You see what? That can counteract what I am saying. Because whatever is in the book comes from out of man. And I know man. Simply because I know myself. Once you know yourself, you know all beings. Plus, like I keep telling you, the 9th grade general is also an old master. Just like how I see the one, I see you all as well. You see what I mean? So you can't come to me and tell me that, oh yeah, I am an Arab, you know, or I am a Jew, or I am whatever label you want to put on yourself, because labels are not you. You can only be a being, nothing else. So you can't even hide behind your culture, or your dress, or the food that you eat. Because I am not interested in the dress that you wear, the food that you eat, or the way that you dance. All I'm interested in is how you behave towards your fellow human being. If you are willing to be honest. You see, because if you are not this way, you are going to be a blind human being. One who is still living tribal. Are you from the tribe of the English, or the French, or the Germans, or the Polish, or the Jamaicans, or the Africans, Chinese, Portuguese maybe? You see how many different tribes there is on earth when I'm telling you there is only one? So what does that mean? We are living in confusion and ignorance. I can't understand, you know. All this, you know, is only common sense. I swear to God. Common sense. And God give common sense to everyone. But everyone refused to use it. Because they are after the higher senses. What do you want to be? A chemist? Or a scientist? Or a nuclear technician? Some big name things anyway. Whatever you want to study. But no one ever want to use or operate common sense. And look at me now. I have no sense, none of the big sense, you know. None of the educational. Look how great some educational man, mathematician, this, that. How great they are. And I admire their greatness in knowledge. But bring any one of them here, because you hear me challenging all the time on video. Bring any one of these greats that you can think of, and let him reason with a common sense man, and I'll show you that all this being lack understanding might have knowledge, yeah, for sure, because that is their pursuit, knowledge, but they don't have any wisdom. So because they don't have wisdom, they can't know themselves, they can't understand life. You see what I mean? Because your eyes are not open. You see these eyes here that we look through? Those are not the true organs of sight. They are the true organs of sight in the physical world. But we have internal eyes as well, because we are spirit living in a body. So when those internal eyes are not open, you are blind. And the internal eyes only open when you are honest. When your intention is pure and clean. To the fullest. You know what I mean? That's why I say, you know, if your intention, that's why I say, you have to love the truth more than how fly love shit then. You see what I mean? Because if you don't, you will pay attention to other things and get diverted. You see what I mean? Then you might end up holding on to something then. Maybe you might hold on to the prophet or the son of God. Maybe you might hold on to an archangel, you know. I don't know, maybe you had a dream and see somebody and thought you meet Jesus and hold on to that, or Moses, or whatever. But the general, like I'm telling you, I don't hold on to nothing. I don't hold on to my ancestors. You know? I don't hold on to my mother, my father, my friend, my brother, my sister. I don't hold on to no book that I have ever seen written in the earth. No, man, I walk alone as a bad general. The only thing I hold on to, I tell you, because it's my teacher in it. I've seen the ones who are knowing it. It is the one who educate me to destroy boy with lyrics. Kill anyone. You see what I mean? And that is the only one that I hold on to. You human being called that one conscience. Yeah. That is the supreme master. Out teach any book. And out reason any book as well. You know what I mean? Rough general. The general is so rough. Not me, you know. I'm not the general. The one that I'm telling you about, who is my teacher. That one is so rough that guess what? This one is in Michelle, who is here. And everybody. So it's in male and female. How amazing is Well, you know me, I love them kind of things. I always find it funny, you know. I said, wait, my master is everywhere. That's why I don't need to look behind my back, you know. As a general. Because I have eyes everywhere. You see what I mean? Because my master is within all. You see what I mean? Eyes everywhere. And this is not a matter of say that I believe these things, you know. Because the general is a general. I tell you, when you come for your house, all you believe gets singed. Destroy that. Because you have to know. Because when you believe, you don't know nothing. You just believe. You believe in God. How can you believe in what you don't know? You see what I mean? And here you have the believers, them. Say the Muslim, them. They believe in a different God from the Christian, you know. Even though both of them tell me that they only dealing with one God still. And that God is it was God who revealed the Quran then, and God who revealed the Bible. But God don't reveal a one thing, and God also reveal another book to the Jews them. God is always revealing different things to different people, if you know what I mean, about the one thing. You see what I mean? But what's amazing about these people as well now, you'll think that they was dealing with one, but they're not. Because Christianity, believe it or not, there's 34,000. You hear that? Not 34, you know, 34,000 different sects of Christians. Islam say they have 72. And when you talk to them, they say only one's right though. So out of their 72, one's right and the other 71's wrong. But all of them says that their way is the right way. And I suppose the 34,000 different section of Christians would say our way is the right way. Now how can you have 34,000 different Jesus? I thought there was only one. You know, if the character was real, there would be one in it. But you have 34,000 man. I said, no man, this is Jesus. Everybody Jesus different, you know. You see what I mean? But this is the way, like I'm telling you, when you are lost. You see, when I was describing the Rastafarians, it don't, when beings get lost, it's not only those who follow or who profess to be Rastas then that get lost in ignorance. You know what I mean? The great majority of them professing to be Christian, Muslim are lost. You know? But that doesn't mean that you couldn't say you was a Christian and find your way through Christianity, you know. But you couldn't believe in Jesus then, as an example, because that would be just nonsense. A true Christian just live honestly and clean. Or a true Muslim. As according to the Muslim then, a true Muslim is one who surrenders his will to Allah. But they don't know who Allah is. You see what I mean? So when the 9th grade general tell them as an example that, listen man, I and I surrender, I and I will, about 1 trillion billion% to conscience, fully, and trusting nothing else apart from that. They can't see that one has surrender, you know, that the general is one who surrender his will to the higher will of the terrible and dreadful one who dwell within all. You see what? You see what I mean? They will never be able to overcome that. Plus, like I tell you, because they are lost in ignorance, they are moralists. A lot of beings are racist. You see what I mean? Yeah, they operate. Few animals, I call them. They operate a lot of racism. You see what I mean? So when the truth come out of I and I mouth, a lot of them, well, they wouldn't accept that still. Well, the Rasta themselves and they are black. They're not going to accept it either, you know. You see what I mean? They won't accept the truth either. But here how the general work it out now. Because we have a lot in common still, you know. Because my ancestors was taken out of Africa. See, I say. Because I don't know the full story, I just skim it over, see. So roughly speaking then, these people was brought out of Africa, stripped of their culture, language, you see, and then instilled with the teachings of those who brought them from their roots. You see what I mean? That's how I see the story, you know. Put in what they want to put in them then. As a 9th grade general, it was I and I job then to repatriate back to Africa. Not physically, because you know I man is a poor man when it comes in here differently, you know. Don't have any papers still. Although I did go to Africa physically once. But before I went there physically, I repatriated back mentally. You see what I mean? To a time when Islam never exists in Africa, or Christianity. That is the time that I revert back to. Now, I never know what exactly my ancestors was thinking. Well, some people can access what they was thinking up in Egypt. But I am not from Egypt. I am from deeper Congo. I come from the men they call the Twas. Some bush. I never bother with building buildings. I don't deal with the out. We wasn't in pursuit of knowledge, but in pursuit of wisdom. You see what I mean? So I and I go back to when we come from the Twa men. So that's how now I was able to recover my independence or seat. So that means now, if this house is my house, what is a man doing coming from over there with some book now telling me how to cook food in my house? And you know, what name me must call me my kids, and what time I must pray. And I say me must leave my yard now, see, and walk out of Africa, out of Congo. Because I don't know which part of Africa some people come back. Congo me I deal with. Walk all the way from Congo, you know. Gone in a desert, gone walk around something with them erect there. No. The God that sent a man into Congo to tell me that now. No, that God will fire that. We burn that, because we're not afraid to burn some God, you know. Because enough of the last people, them, the human animals, them have enough God. So some of them God have to get roast up. Like all the one we send all him son and prophet. But burn that. Not Congo. I say, boy, what are you talking about? How God figure send you when God is already here? We are in daily contact with the living and terrible one that is within ourselves. And you come out now, out of desert, you know, or out of Ice Age place here in Europe, you know, coming I and I abode down there, you know, telling I that God sent you, when I know that you are a thief and a criminal who know not thyself. Because if you know yourself, you would have known the living God. You would have realized that we was all brothers and sisters. So why do these inhuman act to your brother? You see what I mean? So that's what I mean. So I had to cleanse my mind, you know. That means to say, that's why the boy them book cannot touch a general. Because we're not interested in that. You see what I'm saying? Those books that you are reading, yeah, Bible or whatever. When my ancestor was in Africa, going to read blood clot Bible, then I know about that. That get introduced by the slave master, either the Arab or these brother. You see what I mean? They are the one who introduce these things that God send them, you know. And rascal man, them all go in the bush in the Amazon telling the Indian them out that God sent them, you know. Everyone, we know that the man is nothing gonna go. God cannot send, never send. Either the first or the last prophet. The only prophet, their prophet, one thing I grant them, their prophet make a lot of money. Because anybody that they say is a prophet generate a lot of money. You see what I mean? Either by people giving donation, whether they build mass church, doesn't matter. But it only generate a lot of money. Now, since when did God go into the gathering of so much money? I see the man them, this brother what they call the Holy Father. I don't know how a man can be a Holy Father, yet him is not a daddy. Him never have sex with a woman. Him don't deal with woman. If anything, those men deal with men. But yet, people are calling him the Holy Father, rather than seeing that this is the unholy Father. You know, criminals in disguise. You see what I mean? Because those people are believers, believing in Jesus Christ and praying, and it's I don't know how people can see that this is really sick and depraved behavior. But you have grown, it's all grown adults anyway. It's not people of Michelle's age doing it. You know, when I say Michelle, I'm referring to Mr. Mario's young daughter. She's 9 and she's here. She come with him because she wanted to see how we do the videos, you know. I'm saying it's not young minds like that. It's these older people, you know. They are the one who would probably try and jump these ignorant things into a young mind like Michelle, you know, about what they hear. Everyone who is living on the planet Earth here now, at this present time, none of us know Jesus. Anything we see about such a being is just what we hear. What somebody tell us, or what we go in the Bible and read. But we don't know if this was so. You see what I mean? But they're telling us that you must have faith, without explaining to you that faith can be blind. You know, I can believe that my friend is in the kitchen, but believing that doesn't mean that my friend is there. I must go and have a look. When I have a look, if my friend is there, I will know. If he's not, I will know. But I will no longer believe, because belief is not certainty. And yet you have all these people. How many? There's more believers than knowers, isn't it? A great deal more. You see what I mean? Because you believe the story that the slave master tell you. Now, when I'm saying the slave master, you know, I'm not just talking about the black man who was physically put into slavery, but whether you are white, brown, or pink, your mind has been put into mental slavery, using either religion, money, all kind of things they use to keep your mind ignorant. Those are you who love money. It's only paper. When you die, you won't be able to take it with you, will you? But yet you're fighting and killing for it. Yeah, that's to keep you in ignorance with paper. Paper, nothing and metal. You will fight and kill and die for it. But when death comes for you, what are you going to do with all the money that you have? All the diamond and gold that was ever in the earth at the beginning of time, you know what? It's still here. because it can't go anywhere. Even though millions of humans have come here and at some time has fight and kill each other for it. But they are dead now. You go in the graveyard, you see them, they're dead, and the gold is still here. And when we are dead, whatever gold and diamond you're killing people for, you're going to leave it here. And I suppose some of the idiots, human beings like you lot, will come along, fight each other, kill each other, die for it, and claiming that it's theirs. Not being able to see that, look, people has been killing for this gold for thousands of years, but the gold is still here, and all them people are dead. So why should we come along and make the same mistake as them? You know, why kill each other for things that are not ours anyway? You know the gold and the diamond that you wear around your neck and you think it's yours, it ain't yours. They will teach the lesson to you. And if you leave it to your daughter and your son and they keep leaving it, they will remove it from all of them. Just the same. They will just have to let it go and leave. You know, even your pretty teeth and your body, one day death is coming for it. Remember that. And that's why you should live, like I say. You know why you should live honestly instead of bad? Because we all have a memory in us. It's a video recorder. It records our deeds. You remember how I tell you how you have to leave all your gold and your diamond, even your teeth and your body. But one thing you won't leave here, guess what it is? Your memory. That goes with you, because that is and your memory is contained what you did here. Because memory doesn't, as soon as you're born, it starts to work and tape your whole life. Like how my friend Mr. Marius is videoing me now. Your memory is videoing you and what you did and how you did it. Why? Because you cannot die. Only your body is going to die. Our spirit cannot die. You see what I mean? We can't even get old. Just the body. Because we are two, physical and non-physical. That's why I'm drinking this water now. Look. You can see the water, and you can see my body. So the body take on physical things. Water, food, so forth. Look. The spirit just draws some breath. Did you see it? But I'm doing it now still. So one thing is visible and the other one is invisible. Now, you could go a long time without visible things in it, like water. How long would you last without water? A couple of days. Yeah. And you could also last a couple of days without food. Some people last a long time without food. Have a guess how long you would last without breathing the breath. Yeah, you can't see it. But how long would you last, you reckon? I don't reckon you would last that long. You would zoom out, you see what I mean? But no one take no notice of what they cannot see. They are only interested in what they can see. That's why you're so interested in my body, and to say, yeah, I'm a black man. Because you can see my body. But there's a spirit living in the body. Can you tell what color it is? No. It is your ignorance, like I tell you, that divide you up and make you believe that you are black and white. Or even make you believe that some are more intelligent than some. But like I tell you before, intelligence, right? You hear what the word says, in. It never says out. But we live in a world of positive and negative. So in the word intelligence is of a positive and a negative. So it have an inner meaning and an outer meaning. When you are out intelligent, you are like a scientist, you know, clever, and you build the house and you erect the buildings and all that, and you know, yeah, you're creative that kind of way. When you are intelligent, like those who was residing in deeper Congo, so those we never focus too much. The minimum focus on the and outer knowledge, you know. but maximum and the in. So when you're intelligent now, that's when you know what is going on within beings. Is it? Within beings anywhere at all, you know I'm on about. All these on the planet. That's why I'm telling you, 9th grade general is the teacher of all beings. Not only the one them that I see are living now, but all the one them who lived before and passed through. Not only that, I is the teacher of all beings within the universe. Just like these would go on about angel. An angel could never confront a 9th grade general. They would salute I. Yes, sir, man? Why? I tell you before, innit? The conscience is I master. Can you see any light anywhere within this universe dealing with that? I mean, how do you get to be in everyone at once? Not only people who are living, but all those who did that before, and all the unborn, when they arrive here, the one will automatically be in them. Now, how did the one manage to do? I don't know. That's why I try to mind my own business and leave. Yeah, one thing with a 9th grade general, I never try and interfere in God's business, because I don't know how God works. God have some funny way of working things. You see, I try and mind my own business. You know? Because I don't figure out how an intelligence could be present in everyone like that. And yet the intelligence is not a man or a woman either. But anyway, I know the supreme one, you know. Like I'm telling you. This one is dwelling beyond the mind. You know, like how the sun is beyond the moon. It's a thing like, you see the body here. Behind the body is the spirit. You come up in your head. You see the brain. They say the brain. Dr. Scott and have a look at the brain. Behind the brain is the mind. Behind the mind is the supreme one. The light giver. See what I mean? I suppose you wouldn't know these things was happening in yourself because you never made the choice to study in, did you? You are more interested in what you see out there. I'm just telling you because, well, you know, because I can see within. I'm telling you about studying within. So when you study within now, you know that you will encounter the two great masters. If you want to call them two, you know, because they're not two really, the one is like yin and yang still. Because you see this on this level here now, I'm going to tell you about, over here is the negative one, and over here is the positive one. This negative one now, which represents darkness, only talk about do this, do that. It doesn't force anyone, it just gives you the choice. You see what I mean? But it's completely negative. It doesn't talk anything good. This one do all the talking of goodness. Yeah? The light one, the one who's the light, the conscience, the God. How you call it? God in a man then. Eh? But when you know the one now, when you know this conscience, it shows you that it comes from the dark. You know, it is the light, but it emerges out of the dark. So the dark is the first principle. The dark is also God. God is the light and the dark. You see what I mean? So the dark is not negative. It's negative when you haven't got a light. You see what I mean? Just like in physical life, some people are scared in the dark. But if you give them a light, they are more comfortable. Well, spiritually, it's the same thing. Beings are terrified of the dark. Why? Because they haven't got the light. Because if they had the light, they will see that creation is contained within the dark. All light does is reveal it. So it's in a way, God revealed himself. So that's how the light and the dark work together on a higher level as one, yet on a different level as opposing energies. Have you see what I mean? Well, they're not opposing anyway, because it's not as if they're having a war. They just give us, on one level, they give us the choice between being positive and be negative. You see what I mean? Now a Rastafarian couldn't know all these things, you know. Why wouldn't a Rastafarian be able to reason this way so that not only those people who call themselves Rastas could understand, but anyone who is willing to listen with an open mind will be able to grasp the idea. You see what I mean? No. The Rastafarians would be reasoning about His Majesty Selassie and certain part of the Bible and thing, and that would last some people. I would appear to some people, or should appear to some people, as just another watered down form of Christianity anyway. You know what I mean? These brothers just simply maybe think to themselves, oh, their white man is doing a thing, so what we do, we switch it over and make it a black thing. But it's still stupidness. Because like I'm saying now, as a 9th grade general now, I don't care who hit me on my head with a hammer, if it is a white man or a black man, because I'm going to feel the same pain, innit? So I don't deal with none of them. See what I mean? Plus, like I tell you, when your eyes open, you get over this idea of black man and white man. It's a spirit in a body. So I don't care if you appear in the black body and you're an idiot. You just say you're an idiot or you're behaving idiotic. If you're in the white, I just tell you the same thing, you know. It's nothing. There is no. Well, you couldn't be a 9th grade general and be prejudiced, you know. Trust me. So if you hear me speak and it sounds prejudiced, because sometimes I say the white man them, and you might think you're talking about all white people. No, I'm not talking about all white people. When I say in general, I say the white man have the power. I'm talking about the power structure. The great majority of white people, or what we call white people, are in mental slavery, just like the great majority of black people. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money and comfortable, you know, that having money and anything doesn't mean that you're not in mental slavery and being kept as a cattle without being able to use your own faculties to think for yourself, you know. Even though you're driving a Ferrari, you know, my youth, or you have a yacht or big mansion, yet you still don't have control of your own mind. You see what I mean? You let paper and material things carry you away, and when you die, you're going to leave all that. Very soon, all them sexy girls that you're running down, you finish, because the body wrinkle up and you see me. Graveyard, enough of them love a man there right now, you see me, dead long time. And so will these, you see what I mean? Just a waste of life. Because you fail to, like I say, you can see it in life, night and day. But you spend all your time living in night. When you have a choice, you could have lived in day, you know what I mean? Or I like to say, most people are like egg. Now an egg got the potential to hatch. You see what I mean? And for a chick to emerge from out of that egg into a new life and see the life that is going on. But most human beings stay in their egg. They never hatch and come into the light. You see what I mean? So because it's in the light now, you're going to learn about love, caring, sharing, oneness. You see what I mean? If you was in the light, your mind would never dawn on your mind once to make a bomb or a gun or kill another human being. Because to a mind that is in the light, that is just total crazy, isn't it? Why would you want to kill anybody? You know what I mean? Or why would you want to behave and live bad? It's just sickening to the soul, you know what I mean? So the soul that is in the light, that kind of behavior, to me anyway, is just sick. You know what I mean? Apart from saying what I'm saying, I'll be glad when I'm dead and leave this place. The only reason why I'm not willing to dead is because at the back of my mind, I'm sure that my spirit come here to destroy Babylon then, you know, and this idiotic way. So I'm fully expecting this shit steam that has been running from, you know, 250,000 years. I don't care how long. All I know that it has never been light up, you know. The truth, the full truth of God has never been rammed into the soul of human beings. You see what I mean? Never. So they've been just living, just sick. Right now they become sick. When we look at those people who call America, John Kerry, McCain, all those people who's willing to kill and murder other people in other country. You know what I mean? This is just sickening. So I have a feeling in myself that no, you come to earth and you are going to witness all this violent sickness just burned up in the earth, you know. I don't care if I die in it as well, you know, because the spirit cannot die. As long as I witness the final end to this madness and sickness. You know me, I don't know about other human beings. They can enjoy themselves and dance and party and things. But me, I am always thinking of the suffering of my fellow human beings. Me mean fellow, you know, because we're all brothers. Whether you're black, white, green or blue. Because I know in my heart that no one should suffer here. No baby should go hungry. Nothing, you know, because everything is here. Why is anyone going hungry on earth? A few greedy individuals. Do you know that one man can own all 40,000 acres of land? What is one man doing with so much? One man own all the island. Him one own the island. Or him and him family own half quarter of the earth. What kind of, while the majority of his brothers die for once, after God already provide everything here, you know. Such is the way of ignorance, you know, and if you don't get out of it. And these same brothers now who are in ignorance, when you emerge into the light now, because we have to come from the dark to go to the light. So we all used to do wrong as well. Any man who is doing right must have done wrong. But the difficulty is now is when we go back into the dark, because we can't go anywhere here, to try and explain, even if it was to your father, that the way that they're living is not right. They would rather kill you or hate you or curse you or do anything rather than accept the truth that you bring to them that will heal their soul of ignorance. You see what I mean? So many people dislike I and I just for the word that I speak. Yeah. And if they could as well, because if I tell them, like I said, some of them would kill. Because if I go and tell them that you're Jesus and you're Muhammad and such forth, and you are saying the prophet and son of God, but nothing don't go like that. It's a delusion in your mind. They will not accept it because they think there's some spite in my words. Rather than me fully as a ninth grade general knowing the truth and speaking it. You see what I mean? Because whose soul will be condemned then if that was the case? If I should sit in front of a camera letting words come out my mouth with passion that I know not to be true. You think these are some words that I'm reading out of some books or anything or that I'm following a script? No, when I sit in front of a camera, we don't follow. I don't follow no script. Mr. Mario set up the camera, I sit in front of it and fire. See what I mean? I don't have any script. You know what I mean? I don't have the story that I said already. I don't remember it. When Mr. Marius download the video, I'll go over it and see if what I says make any sense. Or if it was in some form of coordination. You know what I mean? But when you know the truth, you don't have to remember anything and organize anything and think up anything. And no, you just speak it. Or if somebody else was here, if it was a question and people was questioning me, I'll be able to come out with more. But I'm on my own spitting fire, you see what I mean? So sometimes only after even when I finish, I think, oh, I should have said it that way. I says this, you know what I mean? When I'm reviewing things myself, you know what I mean? But like I'm saying, as a general, I never ever, like I say, want to quote from any book I say. Why should I when I know what is right? Myself, you know, I know it myself. And I know it in such a certain way, like I tell you. You can see it in numbers. Whenever you reach the 9th level, the one return. So I know the one is I and I teacher. You see what I mean? I never go to any school or study under any master in earth. Alright then. How do you think I learn it then? If I say, alright, if a man should, anyone who hear me speaking and think, well, he knows something, I wonder where he learned it from. And I'm telling you then, alright, I haven't been to no educational institution. I have got no master, you know, that I visit anywhere. It's just me and my own, just me and myself that I learn. Whatever people hear me say and they think, oh, that's wise, that's smart, it's just me and myself that learn that, you know what I mean? And when I say me and myself, I don't want you to think that myself is personal to me. It's not, it's in you as well. What we call the higher self. Or for another way of speaking, then what we call the conscience, you know, or for another word, then what man would call God, because God is only a word in it, a word that I say explain to beings that there is a higher form of intelligence, you know. Of course, some of them try to make out that this intelligence is a man like them. You see, because they write and say, oh, the intelligence create them in it, his image, as if like I'm saying, then the intelligence was some form of man. You know what I mean? I don't know how an intelligence could be in every human being, but yet man think that this intelligence is some form of being like them, who might be holding a position up in heaven with his angel, and at the same time his son sitting beside him, you know, and maybe the prophets that he sent before lying in his coat here. You know what I mean? But this is what happens when, as an example, you was a Rastafarian. You see, because when you are a Rastafarian, like I say, you are going to follow a book. Now I'm telling you, as Africans, we don't know nothing about no book. When you go back to Africa, yeah, before they take us out of Africa as slave and brought us here, remove our language, all our culture and everything, and instill on this side of the border Christianity and the Holy Bible, yeah, in us. Well, I'm saying now, if you go back, because I'm not going to go back to Egypt like I tell you, I'm not from Congo, man. When I go back into deeper Congo now, there was a time when these people, because Christianity don't come from Africa and Islam don't. So I'm saying that there was a time when my people in Congo used to live without these things. You see? And they was living in ignorance, because we know ourselves, we know the truth. So when you revert back to that now, you don't read no books like I say. Or I don't anyway. I'm not saying I don't read books, you know. I've read many books before. I'm saying I don't rely on them or quote anything from them. I call it an ability, I say. That when I used to read, I reckon I stopped reading maybe more than 10 years. But when I used to do it anyway. When I'm reading, yeah, I understand what I'm reading, but when I finish, I don't remember. You know? So that means I couldn't even go and quote what I read out a book. Because when I started to read, I already know myself. I never begin the pursuit of reading philosophy, mysticism, religion, and all these other, whatever they got, spirituality. I never start to read them, yeah? Until I wake up. You see what I mean? When I wake up at 27 and know the one, after I know the one, that's when I started to read. But it was just more like to see what people know from around the planet, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking for them to teach me anything, because they couldn't. You see, it sounds kind of arrogant, but there's nothing arrogant in the truth. I haven't come for them to teach me, I've come to teach them. That doesn't mean no one can teach me. Now, my sister told you to teach me enough things. and if you should ask her, she will tell you that I love learning of her. You see, I just love, because I prefer me personally, I rather hear the truth from somebody else. If you know what I mean. So when I'm reasoning with my sister and she's telling it to me, well, me love that. You know what I mean? It just sound nicer. You know what I mean? Plus, I say my tag partner, I call him. She's more educated than me and more creative. You know, I'm just boom. But she's educated and creative. Hence the fact why she can create the word Rastafarians. It's simple, but I never thought of it. I'm not that creative. Are you animals? But don't you think those words are brilliant? Well, I do anyway. yeah, man. So I like the way my partner is creative. You see what I mean? So I can focus on that talent instead of, because I haven't got any. You know what I mean? But she is very creative. So in truth then, you know, there is nothing to boast of. I say I'm the 9th grade general, which I am. Well, I'm God baddest soldier that has ever come out of woman. Well, the thing is, I can tell anybody anything and they won't believe it anyway. When you tell them the truth, they don't believe you. You see what I mean? So if I tell anyone that I'm the 9th grade general, they're not going to believe. And if I tell them as well that the 9th grade general is God's baddest general, they're not going to believe it. But it is all true. Because I don't have any reason to lie about it. You know what I mean? I'm not, just because I say I'm the 9th grade general, I ain't going to rich. I ain't going to get nothing. In fact, I don't have nothing. I could do with some papers for real. If I had some papers, like I said, I'd put some of the new technology in my mouth. But them call them thing implant. Shows you that I haven't got any papers for real. So it's not as if I'm saying, oh, if you say you're the 9th grade general, I'm going to get something. There's nothing. I'm getting nothing out of it. If anything, people think more that I'm an idiot. You see what I mean? Rather than the general who come to save them from out of their misery by spitting the word of truth into their minds. But because their minds are corrupted. Have you not heard that story that they says before? Yeah, these Christians say that thing. True things still. Because they steal some words, you know. They have eyes to see, yet they do not see, and they have ears to hear, yet they do not hear. Well, your eyes that you have to see and do not see are your internal spiritual one that has not yet opened, and your internal spiritual ear. So when the word of truth is spoken, you cannot see it or hear it. But anyway, I have been rapping for a long time. This reason was about those Rastas. I say that my friend, my tag partner, we don't call them Rastas, Rastafarian. They are Rastafarians. Having lose their way still, you know what I mean? Because Rasta is a positive and a negative thing. So there are very few Rastafarian, but there are a lot of Rastafarians. And those who will label, well, I label them. I won't say we and my sister. I take full responsibility for this one. That those Rastafarians follow books, you know, Bible and talk about Selassie. No difference from those other men who are going on about Muhammad or Jesus. All them are lost souls as well. Because you're not supposed to go about earth talking about somebody. You're supposed to know you. Because the great one is in you, you know. Imagine I'm telling you, the supreme master, the teacher in blood clot self, pussy hole, is in you, you know. And you ignore that teacher tell me about Jesus and blood clot Muhammad and some angel. I tell you what, any one of you who hear the words come out of my mouth denouncing your prophet, yeah, meet me and kill me. And see what happened to you when I meet your blood clot on the other side. Your soul finish. Because the God in you, my God in you, are what you hear, you know. Even now when you hear the word and you're thinking all your little hatred within your heart, remember where my God is, right in your pussy. Because this ain't no joke, you know. Sometimes I really get serious and burn the fire, you know. But don't get jumped. It's just a bit of passion. But everything that I'm saying is true as well. I am one of the most dangerous beings on planet Earth. But get what my danger is now. I am innocent like a child. You think I was going to say I'm dangerous because I'm going to do anybody anything? No. My danger is that I am completely innocent. Like a child. If you could see within me. But that is my protection. No being in the universe tests an innocent one. No force from the dark side or from this side. Test an innocent one. Destroy you all. See what I mean? Anyway, before we get too passionate, I am going to reel out, fade out, and fire out from the firehouse. And we'll meet on the next reel where I and I will be burning some more fire. You hear what this last tune is saying? He says, many are called, but few are chosen. But in Firehouse, like I tell you, we change that and says, all are called, but only a few choose to go. Is it? In other words then, conscience is speaking to all of you, but only a few of you listen. You'd rather go and listen to the goddamn prophet and the books, wouldn't you? You goddamn coward and weak heart, I say. Anyway, I is going to reload, fade out, and fire out from Firehouse. Fire!